Oh man, it's been a while without a single peep of Hazbin Hotel or Vivziepop drama or news. I thought maybe, just maybe, we could bask in the sun of a new day without hearing another character swear as often as I breathe.
Yeah, that's good for you, but that's old news, bitch.
Oh, okay.
Hold on to your little titties, because I'm here to announce that Helluva Boss is coming to Prime Video.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
I'd be lying if I said a well-placed F-bomb in media didn't make me laugh every now and then.
Open the door!
And I mean, pretty much every one of my favorite shows has had at least one episode where a character learns to swear. Two perfect examples are Dexter's infamous banned episode, Rude Removal, and SpongeBob SquarePants' Sailor Mouth. Of course, the joke in both these cases is that the characters don't actually swear, which makes it even funnier. And then you've got shows like Smiling Friends, my absolute favorite. They do swear in that show, quite a bit, however, they don't do it every other second like Vivziepop does. And often more than not, it's actually weirdly funnier when you watch the censored version that aired on television.
Probably working with all those filthy.
This is far from the only example though. South Park and other adult animated shows also use excessive swearing, but usually with a little bit of restraint, especially in promotional material, similar to Vivziepop's teaser trailer.
The doctor pulled it out of me. It was probably it was about that big.
Oh my, you must have been traumatized.
And that was in me.
With the Smiling Friends Adult Swim bump brilliantly parodies Looney Tunes, paying homage to the classic slapstick without leaning into modern adult animation swearing-reliant humor, it captures timeless comedy with sharp timing and charm. Meanwhile, Vivzie defends Blitz's non-stop swearing by citing Seth Rogen, missing that Apatow-era comedies were funny because of the smart writing, not just because of repeating obscenities. With all that in mind, you'd think Vivziepop, someone highly influenced by the writing of both BoJack Horseman and South Park, would bring a bit more tact to her dialogue. But if there's one critique that Vivziepop just can't seem to shake, it's her over-reliance on swearing. And that applies not just to Hazbin Hotel, but to her other series, Helluva Boss too.
Swearing doesn't make you cool.
Even if that series is just a little bit more tolerable in terms of how often people swear. Just a quick reminder that a like and a comment helps my videos tremendously in getting seen by the algorithm, so be sure to let me know below what you think. Do you think Vivzie's writing style is cringe, or am I just being too hard on her? Or not hard enough? This trailer makes it even more clear that Blitzo is basically Vivziepop's excuse to channel all of her edgy teen years into one character. You know the energy, like that one weird kid in school with a notebook full of names they swore they'd take revenge on for looking at them weird. Yeah, that kind of energy. You'd think that after years of the internet collectively roasting her for her writing, maybe she'd dial it back a bit. You know, just a teensy-incy bit, you know? You know, if you were promoting your shows, you wouldn't just go out of your way to double down on everything everybody gave you a hard time for online, especially when it comes to writing Blitzo and the rest of the Hellaverse. But no, somehow Vivziepop found a way to triple down on her most cringe-inducing writing habits, making what could be a short, funny promo an excuse to sound like me when I wanted to sound cool in grade 7 by swearing because I thought it made me sound more mature. I had honestly thought, I'd go as far as say, I hoped she might take some of the online criticism to heart and adjust her approach. Not that my channel really matters at the end of the day, but I really do want to see her improve on how she writes, as that seems to be, beyond almost everything else, the biggest criticism that she's constantly hit with. Something that's incredibly common for most indie works, as even Gooseworks, with as viral as their show was worldwide, still actively asked the internet for help with writing. Instead, Vivzie went full I saw Deadpool once and decided swearing is my personality mode. I swear I lost count how many times unnecessary F-bombs were dropped in the new Hellaverse teaser. Amazon handed her a blank check for 2 seasons of Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss, still running on YouTube, similar to how Digital Circus operates on Netflix and YouTube. And what did she do with that platform? She cranked the swearing to 11 in the promo material alone. On the one hand, hey, I'm all for her getting confirmed for 2 seasons and Helluva Boss funded by Amazon, and I'm all for creatively giving the middle finger to critics online, even if people like to meme that it's taking away from Invincible's budget. I think her shows are entertaining and a solid piece of indie animation, with some pretty good bangers here and there. So even if I don't love all the songs, songs, there's bound to be at least a couple I'll enjoy thoroughly. But seriously, if there's one thing I'd always hoped she'd improve on, it's writing. And here, not only does she ignore the feedback, but she doubles down as if to say, yeah, I rate all my characters like I just discovered the F word.
That's one of those sentence enhancers. Use it when you want to talk fancy. You just sprinkle it over anything you say and whammo! You got yourself a spicy sentence sandwich.
But seriously, I'm asking here, does anybody actually find this funny? Or am I just losing my mind here? I can't even begin to imagine anybody actually finding this genuinely funny.
Now we get a around with you guys from time to time. You're a fun sucker, do you know that? I'm a giver, bitch, I'm giving.
Outside of Blitzo having his own Rick Sanchez breaking the fourth wall meme moment by showing off all the characters, it wasn't all that funny, and just shows that she completely disregards anybody's critiques towards her writing style.
Remains entirely with this bitch who, I guess she made me, she made everything here. She's in charge.
Not a bitch. Really love her.
Not a bitch. Really love her.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
It reminds me of when I started on my YouTube years ago. Long before I ever scripted my videos, I used to fall back on swearing to give my content what I thought was comedic flair. But I eventually realized I was just spraying and praying profanity around because I thought, hey, Superbad was full of swears and that was funny. But what I missed there was that most of those moments were funny because the writing around them was funny. What I was doing was just padding my dialogue with empty noise. And that's exactly what the new teaser feels like. Just flat, painfully unfunny. I get that the characters are supposed to be demon edgelords, but there's plenty of edgy demon characters in media who don't rely on constant swearing for a joke to land. It really just comes off like Vivzie is unsure of how to write for a mature audience and defaults to writing for her edgy teen fanbase, and that's what worries me. It feels like Vivzie hasn't learned a single thing from the reception of Hazbin Hotel's first season. Nearly every reviewer online said the same thing. The writing was painfully tryhard, and now she seems to be less interested in fixing that. I mean, come on, Vivzie. A well-placed fuck can hit like a punchline when it's timed right, spaced out between characters and scenes, building up to a perfect moment, but when every other word is a swear, it stops feeling edgy and becomes cringe and shorthand for mature writing. Think of how in Breaking Bad when Jesse says, it lands because it's earned and stupid. Jesse's a character known to swear in the dumbest of times. Now, if Walt and Jesse swore non-stop before this moment, it would have fell flat. That's just how edgy jokes work when you involve swearing. You pace them out, but God forbid you ever try to improve your pacing in any form of writing. If this is the standard for writing and promotion now, what's stopping Helluva Boss from ending up just as visually and narratively mid as Hazbin Hotel? Only time will tell, but as of right now, it feels like Vivziepop is full steam ahead and never changing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.